All right, good morning, people's children, as they say where I'm from. My name is Lieutenant Commander Boyer. I am a pharmacist in the United States Navy. And I know that you guys are wanting to know about the different type of fields out there and trying to hear from the people that work in those areas to kind of see if that might be an area of interest for you. So I'm gonna first walk you around to the space so you can kind of see what it's like, and then we'll go into what is needed to go to become a pharmacist. Okay. First of all, the pharmacy space is secured, so not anybody can go in there, because obviously we have a lot of drugs and stuff that we want to make sure, a lot of medicines that we're making sure that not just anybody can get. So this is the workspace. It's a little messy, but we keep bins for bottles for the liquids, cleaning stuff. Medications have expiration dates. They're not good forever, and so we have to go through the shelves and check those once a month to make sure that we don't have expired meds on the shelf. And so when you pull those, you got to kind of keep those separate. And then this pharmacy's a little small. Pharmacies are going to look different. Some are larger than others, and I'll get into some of that a little bit later. But for us to make use of space, and a lot of other pharmacies do the same, they have these shelves that kind of can move on the floor. They kind of roll on the floor. You can see the tracks there, right there. But anyways, and so that's how you kind of make use of the storage space, because in this pharmacy we have, I don't know, probably about 400 different types of medications that we have to keep in stock here. So this is it right here. And so you got different shelves for the different ones. So I'll just show you one more here. We also have meds that, sometimes people don't use them appropriately. And so because of that, we have to take extra measures to make sure that they're being safeguarded from not being used inappropriately. And so because of that, we'll have some lockers that we keep them in. And see, there's a little code here for using that. And you can also see that same safe. There's a bigger one here that we use. But anyway, so this is pretty much the pharmacy. Now the front side here, we have, it's the Halloween season, so we're trying to give candy to the peoples. But we have machines here that we use to help us process prescriptions more efficiently, because they have a lot of automation in there that makes it super convenient. It's also some safety checks to make sure that we're filling the right meds that the doc ordered, and then like a little computer here that we use. So pretty straightforward. I wished I was at my old pharmacy. We had an inpatient area there, and you could actually see when they make IVs. Okay, so I got script here that lets me know the things that I'm definitely supposed to let you know, and then I'll ad lib in there as I go through. So what's my career? Already told you guys, I am a pharmacist. So why did I choose becoming a pharmacist? Well, honestly, I joined up in the military, and I was trying to find a job in the military that when I got out, that I would be able to get a job in the civilian sector. And so I chose medical. And the medical field in the Navy, for folks who don't have a degree, which is what I was in, they become a corpsman. And then within the corpsman community, you can go do a bunch of different things. And so you could do x-ray, you can be lab, you can do physical therapy. So there's a lot that you can do there. And I chose pharmacy, honestly, because they would pay me more money if I'd be a pharmacy tech. So I actually chose being a pharmacy tech because they really needed pharmacy techs in the Navy. And so I became a pharmacy tech because they paid me more money. And then as I was in the pharmacy field longer, I just really enjoyed it, and wanted to go get an education so that I could become a pharmacist. And so that's essentially why I did it. So I've been very fortunate to be in the Navy and to be able to do that. So I don't regret it. A lot of things that I love about being a pharmacist, and we'll get into some of that here soon too. So where did I go to school, and how long were you in school? So my story's a little bit different, but I don't want to make it seem worse than what it is. So I'll give you what the typical route is. So the typical route is, if you want to be a pharmacist, you have to find out what school you want to go to. once you find out what school you want to go to be a pharmacist, then you have to see what requirements they require for you to go to their pharmacy school. And what I mean by that is a lot of them's going to want like math, English, they'll want certain type of science courses and stuff like that. And so once you find out what courses you need, you'll take all those courses and then you apply to that school that you want to go to be a pharmacist. Typically, those requirements, if you go to school full time, it takes about 2 years. So it takes you about 2 years to get your what they call prerequisites out of the way. So once you knock those out, you're applying for the school. If you get accepted, the pharmacy program itself is 4 years. So best case scenario, 2 years for prereqs and 4 years to become a pharmacist. So 6 years total. They do have residency after pharmacy school that you could do. And you could do a 1-year residency or a 2-year residency. So in total, theoretically, you could go to school for 8 years as a pharmacist, but at a minimum, you're probably going 6 years. Now, they do have some programs to where they shorten that 4-year time frame into 3 years, but they don't get any breaks, and that's kind of tough, and not everybody can do that. But so best case scenario, you're looking at 5 or 6 years to be a pharmacist once you start college. So what's the importance of math, reading, and science? I can't express to you enough how important those 3 things are in this field. We use math in pharmacy every single day, no matter if you work in an inpatient pharmacy where they make IV meds that go in patients' veins, or if you're working in a pharmacy like this, which is an outpatient pharmacy, which is not typically inside of a hospital. No matter which ones you're using, you're always using math. So math for sure is hands down very important. Now, we don't really do a lot of complicated math as far as like calculus and stuff, but unfortunately it's a necessary evil to become a pharmacist, to have gone through those courses. Okay, so when you're going through college, just realize, like, if you keep in the back of your mind, if I could just get through this one tough math course, I'm probably not going to be using this type of stuff in pharmacy. But math is definitely used every single day. Reading is very important too. There's a lot of communications between healthcare providers like the pharmacists and nursing and doctors, and so we have to be able to read and communicate. A lot of times they want your expertise in something, and so you have to be able to write out and be able to speak and articulate in a way that they'll be able to understand. So reading is very important as well, reading and writing. And then finally, science. I hate to say it, you're not going to become a pharmacist without some chemistry. Now, I will say I don't use a whole lot of chemistry now that I've graduated. And there are some fields in pharmacy that if you wanted to go in, that you would use chemistry a lot more than what I do. They have like research pharmacists and stuff like that, where they would use that a little bit more. But again, going back to kind of like the math thing, it's a necessary evil. You're probably going to have to go through some chemistry. I had to go through 4 chemistry classes just to apply to pharmacy school, and then there was some additional chemistry type classes within the pharmacy curriculum once I applied to the program. So science is huge. You're not going to get around it. There's I said science as in like you only dealt with chemistry, but there's chemistry, there's biology, microbiology, anatomy and physiology, all those type of courses that are going to be needed for that. So it's definitely science is huge, especially even if you don't do pharmacy and you do anything in the medical field. Science is very big, because the anatomy and physiology I'm talking about, which is your body, has a lot to do with science. And so anytime you're doing anything in the medical field, you're going to have to be doing science. So very important. The favorite part of your day. So the favorite part of my day, honestly, I love the camaraderie of working with the pharmacy team. A lot of people joke and say pharmacy family, and they spell family with a PH, because for the most part, everywhere I've ever been working in a pharmacy, you're a pretty tight group. You have to really rely on each other, like the pharmacists really rely on the technicians. And the technicians really need the support of the pharmacists as well. So it's a very, very good camaraderie, and I think that would probably be my most favorite part, is just the people that I work with. What's the least favorite part of your day? Shoot, that's a tough one. Sometimes we get some pretty mean patients, and so regardless of what type of day you're having, and we are in the medical profession, we are providing a service, and so we have to make sure that even when we get these nasty patients, the ones that aren't always the nicest, we have to be able to be respectful and talk to them and walk them through that process of understanding why they're not happy, and if there's some way to resolve that. So I would say those patients, but you could also say it's kind of cool working with them and taking them from that frustrated side to the positive side and understanding. I think there's a lot of fun in doing that as well. The next thing is, so what tools do you use? So we use automation is a whole lot of what pharmacy does, honestly. And what I mean by that is like computers, using building databases and stuff like that. So we do use computers a lot. And unfortunately, there's a lot more that pharmacy does outside of what I'm explaining to you and what you're seeing here, because there's a whole nother side of pharmacy, and probably my most favorite side is the inpatient side, and that's where you make those IVs. And so there's a whole lot of stuff you use. You're using a lot of stuff. Hold on, I'll show you. So like you're using things that look very similar to this. This is like an oral syringe for patients to be able to measure out their meds. But in inpatient pharmacy, you're using something like this, but it's an injection, so it's got needles. And then you're using bags that you're injecting the medication into the bag. And so there's a lot of stuff that you use in inpatient that we don't get. I'm not going to get to show you here, but inpatient is really interesting, and I think that's where either a lot of pharmacists really like what I'm doing or really like inpatient. I really like inpatient. That's a great way. You work a lot more closely with doctors there. You're also checking patients' labs and doing some things like that. So it's really, really cool in the inpatient setting. But I don't really have a whole lot more to say. I kind of now regret doing the video. I wish I could have got on the call with you guys, but I'm over here in Japan, so it makes the time thing a little bit more difficult. I will do a plug. When it comes to pharmacy in college, any kind of graduate level courses, it gets pretty expensive. And so trying to figure out ways to, once you figure out what that desire and what your dream is, trying to figure out a way to achieve that, especially if you have financial constraints that limit your ability. And I will say that one thing that I can definitely say I'm appreciative of is that the military offers a lot of programs for people to pay for college. The Navy and the military in general is very good at trying to promote growth, both personally and professionally. And so, like I said, I came in and I had no degree and no idea what I wanted to do. And the Navy afforded me the opportunity, and they paid for my college. I have almost no money of my personal money in my education. The Navy has paid. While I was on active duty, they paid for all my courses, and then when I applied for the pharmacy program, they pay for those as well. So the programs that the military offers for folks who need financial assistance for college is great. But I really hope I answered all your questions. If not, I can tell you the people that put this on, they have my contact info. They can feel free to give that out. I would be happy to answer any questions that you guys have after this. And don't be afraid. Like I love being able to try to help and guide people into a profession that they love. Because if you haven't heard it from others, if you find something that you like to do, it's not really called work, right? So if I can help guide you into a direction to where you don't feel like you're coming to work every day, and you find your passion and you're getting paid to do that, like it's the best place to be. So if there's any way that I can help you determine if pharmacy is the way to go, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Email is going to be the best way. But best of luck to you guys. Thanks to your leaders there who are giving you this opportunity. I never had an opportunity like this as a kid. So being able to find out from professionals what their job is like is, I think, very important to help you come to a decision that's going to be, a lifelong decision, essentially, in your job. But take care. Wish the best for you, and don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, you guys take care.